All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live on Magic Talk. A day late and a dollar short, but we are here.
Well, we got something to help with that dollar short, don't we?
We do.
I think we do. We got, for all of our email subscribers, we do have a special deal coming out this Saturday.
Oh, okay. We'll talk about that after.
Okay, fine.
We will fill
I
them
was
in.
excited about it.
I know you're excited about it, and we will get right back to it right after this.
Rough Edge FM. Irritatingly irresistible internet radio at roughedgefm.com.
The art of magic is mystery, majesty, pageantry, and craft. It's also about history, marketing, networking, and more. All of these topics and others are discussed on Magic Talk with your hosts, renowned magician James Lantine and owner of the White Rabbit Magic Shop, Joshua Lantine. Now on Rough Edge FM.
All right, I don't know about you, but I am ready for a new intro.
A new intro, you think so?
I don't want to be renowned anymore.
Want to be mediocre?
Yeah. So, anyways, welcome to an episode of Magic Talk. As Josh was saying, this Saturday, starting at 12 a.m.
In the morning.
We
can call that morning, right? I mean,
yeah.
Some people call it night. Some people call it morning. Those are the overachievers.
So midnight.
Yeah.
Starting at midnight, going all the way through 11:59 p.m. on Saturday. There will be a one-time, well, not a one-time sale, because obviously we do sales.
It's a flash sale.
It's a flash sale for that day only.
Yes.
And but it features we're doing something kind of bold on this one.
Yeah. But actually, we kind of like a lottery in a ways. The first 10 customers to go and fill out an order that is $100 or more get a 40%.
A 40% discount.
Yep. For the first 10 only. After that, it's a 20% for everybody else.
So a lot of these products are going to sell for less than what we actually get them for.
I mean, some of them.
Yeah.
Most of our inventory is wholesale.
No, I know, but with 40% off, that's gonna take it.
Those are wholesale prices, everybody. So take advantage of the opportunity while you can.
And maybe even below wholesale prices.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So maybe we should rethink that. Anyway,
too late now.
Yeah, I know. So and after the 10% or after the 10 customers who get that 40% discount, not to worry, you're not going to be totally out of it.
Yeah.
We're going to offer you 20%
for the entire day for everybody else. So it's still a pretty substantial discount.
So if you can be one of the first 10 customers, you will get the 40%. After that, it will be 20%. All you have to do is put in the offer code. It will tell you if there's any left. And if there aren't, then you use the 20% offer code and get a discount from that.
Yep. Don't be late.
Don't be late. That's at wr-magic.com. By the way, it does not apply to downloads or to the new products.
Yeah.
So we have about 50 new products or so that have recently come into stock, and so it excludes those. But everything else in the store, about I think roughly 1,900 items, will be included in that sale.
And if you're not part of our email subscriber list, then go online to that same website. Where's the sign up?
It's
form?
On the homepage.
On the homepage. So on the homepage, you can sign up for our email subscriber list, and you'll get a chance to get the same offer codes because we're going to be sending out another email.
Another email goes out on Friday, so
tomorrow.
So do it soon. I am doing double duty.
Yes, you are. I keep seeing you.
Yes, because our producer is not with us today, so I am at the helm as well as doing the show. So today's show, I thought we would talk about what some of the most lucrative shows are. So, not necessarily just the most lucrative, but looking at all of the different types of shows and looking at which ones tend to have the most money in them versus those that have the least amount of money in them.
I suppose the next question would be, which ones are you going to get the most of?
That's a good question. It depends on, obviously, your style of magic and how you perform.
Yeah, I can imagine there's the birthday parties, then you've got trade shows. I've seen lots of magicians who are trade show magicians.
Well, let's go through the list. Okay. So the number one paying show is a corporate magic show.
I can see that.
They have substantial budgets. They are always looking for high quality entertainment to impress their employees and their clients. These corporate shows can include stage shows, close-up magic, during networking events and dinners, motivational or team building presentations, things of that nature.
So like a conference.
Yeah.
That there's a corporate, if there's a company out there that's hosting a conference or something like that.
Yeah, or maybe it's
entertainment.
It might be a company meeting or an employee gathering or things of that nature. So that is the most lucrative. I just was speaking.
Huh? Go ahead.
I was just speaking with a magician who did a corporate event and got $3,000 to do 2 hours of strolling magic.
Wow.
Strolling.
I'd do it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
$3,000, huh?
Yep. What do you think number 2 on the list is?
Oh God. That one I would think would be birthday parties.
No.
But okay, I'm thinking about it in the sense of what's the most out there that you'll be able to get.
Biggest dollar ticket items. So the most
oh God.
The things that you can make the most amount of money on.
Gosh, then at that point I think it would be, I'm at a loss actually.
Theatrical magic shows that are residencies, things like Vegas and cruise ships and things of that nature. They will tend to pay higher compensation, plus they have guaranteed audiences and you're on a regular schedule.
Hopefully guaranteed. I've seen some Vegas shows where they're pretty empty.
Well, yeah, but you're gonna get an audience, whether might not be that big, but this includes illusion shows, mentalism, themed performances, things of that nature.
It kind of sounds like that one's a tad more limiting as to what types of magic you can perform for.
Yeah, I mean, there are some smaller theatrical venues out there that, I mean, look at Matt King.
Yeah.
He's not necessarily performing on the grand scale, yet he's got his theater and he does very well.
I was going to say, it is opening up as of lately. That's, you've got Matt King, you've got Shin Lim, who's doing, I believe he's doing something that's more parlor-esque, but it's still very heavily rooted in close-up magic.
Yeah, a lot of cameras, a lot of, so the third one on the list is trade shows. So that's where the magician gets hired, and he's there to draw a crowd and deliver marketing messages in a memorable way. This is obviously most likely close-up magic that incorporates the company's products, or stage magic to attract the attention. But if you're doing a trade show and you want to be able to earn the bigger bucks, you gotta incorporate their product into your magic in order to sell the show.
So it sounds like there are limitations to all of these, in a sense. For example, the top one that you said was company events and such.
Corporate magic shows.
Corporate magic. So it sounds like that one pretty heavily leans into parlor style stuff.
That's going to be part stage, or it could be close up if you're strolling. It's also going to probably be with somebody who has a name in that industry.
Yeah.
So
there's a limit there. And then you said that the residency one, there's that one, you're kind of stuck in one spot.
Yeah.
There's your limit there. And then this one, it kind of sounds like you have to be more creative. It sounds like, or at least if you really want the clientele, you got to show that you can be creative for that. So it's not like you can just pick any willy-nilly thing and say, oh, here's my show. It's like, you got to kind of cater it to.
Yeah. And there's also, I think it tends to be a niche. And I think there are also a lot of very highly paid, highly motivated magicians that work in that industry. So you're competing in a narrow market against some guys that really have a good footprint in that industry.
Yeah.
So another lucrative gig is a private high-end party. That's where, wealthy clients. Now, where we are, in the Los Angeles area, things of that nature, you could get, I'm saying things of that nature way too many times, but you could get booked for, celebrities or higher end Beverly Hills, that kind of stuff.
We're in the Santa Paula area where all of the celebrities who want to get away. So I suppose you can still get celebrities. And I think
but we're close enough to drive.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
I mean, I do suppose you could go and find yourself a millionaire here. There are some. There's a couple, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, there are. So these tend to be like close-up, walk-around type stuff. Not so much necessarily parlor settings. I think a lot of these types of gigs are, hey, just mingle and walk around our party and do some shows. Another lucrative one is television specials or virtual shows. These are things that are typically performed by David Blaine or television, Dynamo.
Like the stuff that you used to do in New Hampshire?
No.
No,
these are high-end budget productions.
Okay.
So getting sponsors and licensing opportunities and
that's David Blaine.
Large-scale illusions, street magic, interactive virtual type stuff. There's obviously Magic for Humans is a very virtual.
Yes, there's that. There's David Blaine. There's what is it, Matt Franco?
Well, he's in Vegas now.
He's in Vegas now. Well, he used to do that a lot.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I saw one show. I don't know if it was him or if it was somebody like him, but he had a camera up on stage and he performed close-up magic for the camera on stage and such. And it's like,
that's what Shen Lin kind of does.
Yeah, kind of really.
Yeah. This one kind of surprised me, but I guess it doesn't. But weddings and special events. So milestone birthdays and other types of celebrations that are milestones, people want to make these events memorable. So they're willing to pay a little bit more and invest a little bit more into it because they want, in a lot of cases, it's a one and done. So they want to make it impactful.
I think I've done 3 weddings so far, and those are the ones I got the most money out of.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, again, you'd kind of catering it to the event, like that other one you were talking about. I think it was on 3rd on the list.
The trade shows.
Yes, yeah, that's that one. You're still kind of catering it to that person in such a way, but I think it's a little easier in those regards.
Well, I've had weddings where they wanted me to perform at like a platform or a stage show.
Okay, so you had mine were all close up.
Yeah, but honestly, I would talk people out of it because people aren't going to a wedding to watch a magic show or a stage show.
Not a birthday party; it's a wedding.
Yeah, they're not there to. They want to dance, they want to party, they want to do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But doing strolling during the happy hour when people are kind of waiting for the bride and groom to finish their pictures.
Yeah.
That is a perfect environment for something like that.
I have noticed one thing, at least with a wedding, you do have to make a specialty thing for the bride and groom.
Like an anniversary card trick or something like that.
Like, well, yes. Just like an anniversary card trick. Like, that's just something you can pull out of your butt. Come on. Yeah. It's harder to do than you think.
True. Okay. Another one for lucrative is college and university tours. Again, that tends to be a niche. There are performers that are like honed into that type of an industry. But it's comedy, magic, mentalism, stage shows, so appealing to young adults.
So if you kind of had somebody on the inside there, they could kind of help push you into the whole thing. As long as you stay up on top of it, really.
I think it's kind of a network. There's magicians that kind of target that network, and so they bounce around from university. They're known in that industry for doing those kind of things.
So make friends.
Yeah. So now let's take a look at the least lucrative. Now, this isn't by volume. This is by what shows can you charge the most amount of money for.
Okay. So some of them might be you can get more shows of this standard, but
yes,
you're not going to be able to charge as much.
So I'm going to go in reverse on this one. Well, I guess there's no particular order because some of them are. Anyways, charity events.
I can see that. They've limited budget on their end.
Limited budget. Oftentimes they're asking you to do it unpaid. It's good for exposure, but it's very limited in what they're oftentimes going to be able to pay you, unless it's a notable charity that's doing really well. Second least lucrative is children's birthday parties. So they're common, especially for beginning magicians, but they tend to pay less. If you get maybe a celebrity birthday or something like that for one of the kids, that might be different. In New Hampshire, I used to be able to charge $2.25, but then you always have the beginner magician who's out there charging $50. So they're hard to get. Out here,
selling capabilities too. You got to go and say, hey, this guy sells $50, but it's $50 worth of magic. And I'm selling this much, but it's this much worth of magic and such.
And that was 25 years ago. I mean, now out here in California, I'm charging $4.75. And I will go as low as $4.25 for those of you who are watching.
With the charity ones, you've done other ones, kind of like the Boys and Girls Club, right? Or other such things like that. So again, like
you're always giving a discount.
Like a bit. I can imagine, because it's for a good cause and whatnot, and let the kids see something fun.
So another less lucrative, small local festivals or fairs. They tend to be local community events. They have limited entertainment budgets. They might get paid a small appearance fee or tips. This would be maybe stage magic or walk around. I wouldn't necessarily see walk around all that much in a fair type. No. Even stage things in a fair setting, like the show that you're doing on Saturday. I was explaining that the most you're going to want to do is maybe 30 minutes, possibly 20 to 30 minutes, because anytime you take walls away from people,
it's the level of engagement.
They're moving, and people come, they go, they sit, they stand, they walk. It's really hard to keep people engaged.
I've seen one thing that you did before a long time ago, but there was something similar to that. And at one point or another, you were kind of performing for yourself. You gave yourself only a few things to do. Like, this is my show for, I think a half an hour, and your audience was gone, and you're sitting there like, okay. You just kind of ran through it and says, but hopefully people came back.
I think they did it. And I've had other shows like the Pumpkin Patch. I mean, we had a big audience there.
It was only a 10 though, still.
Yeah, and the thing with that though is, again, it was about a 20-minute show, so it was enough to keep people there, keep them engaged, and got to have a lot of high energy and things like that to keep them there. But still, people bounce. You take walls away, and it makes it very difficult. Street performing, busking.
That is hard.
I mean, that's you're working entirely on tips. And again,
the level of performance too, it's very weird and very different, because it's almost like begging. It's just the same level of like, hey, you want to see something? It's like, well, hold on, I'm just trying to go to the store, and it's like, well, hold on, it'll take 5 minutes. I'm like, I don't have 5 minutes, dude.
If you can get to like the pier at Santa Monica or things like that, which you have to actually go and apply for a permit, and then it's a lottery as to whether or not you get a spot that day. So those tend to be maybe a little bit more, but it's still on tips.
I think Bryce Knox, he's a magician who comes here. He was doing something in downtown Ventura.
Busking?
Yeah. Well, actually, he got a permit to go and perform his magic on the street. Main Street is now closed off. He got a permit to go and perform down there, and he kind of posted up in a spot. And then while people were walking by, he was going and showing magic tricks for them.
Nice.
So kind of similar to the pier thing that you were talking about.
What's he doing in our territory?
We didn't grab it. We're in Santa Paula now. We're not.
Yeah, but Ventura is still technically our territory.
Ventura. He's also in Ventura County.
He is?
Yeah.
I thought it was.
Camarillo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was further than that.
No.
All right.
So that's why he's in our territory. Technically, it's his territory too.
It's not. Stay in Camarillo. The next one is school assemblies.
All jokes, don't worry.
School assemblies, education, they obviously have smaller budgets to work with. But you can still get paid a decent amount, depends on the school system.
Yeah.
Those you want to do more educational, which we have a show called The Magic of Tolerance, where we teach about bullying and all that kind of stuff.
And those ones are less frequent too.
Yeah.
A lot more. Like maybe they got something for a what do you call that? One of those teacher appreciation days.
Yeah, or it's like a end of the year assembly,
yeah.
or
or
it might be they might be doing something on like anti-bullying week or something.
But it's still like once a year, maybe.
Yeah.
Per school.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
Bar and restaurants. Those again tend to be the same as strolling magic, table hopping at a restaurant. A lot of times, if you do get paid, you might be getting $100 or $150 for a couple of hours, and then you're relying on tips. Which there's one magician that we know that literally asks for the tip. He says, this is for free. Tips aren't necessary, although they are appreciated. And so he's pretty bold about it. Whereas other people are like, oh, there's no charge, and you don't have to tip. And so those who are less reluctant to be bold, which that's me, will maybe get $20 to $30 in tips.
Yeah.
So you're working a strolling gig that you might normally get $3.25 for, plus another $275 for the second hour. So $500 or $600, you're getting $100 and maybe $30 in tips. But you're meeting people, you're getting your name out.
Now, I have noticed that with the tips I suppose the level of boldness doesn't have to be in your face, right? It could be something to the effect of, if you liked what you saw, feel free to please leave a tip. Have something by the front door, or whatever, or take a card, because I can do shows for you. Something along those lines.
And some people will end with a money trick.
Oh yeah.
And then they'll be like, oh, so is this the bill you gave me? Yes. Oh, thank you very much. And ha 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 ha. And they hear, and so
I was thinking, was it Lincoln Bond told me a story about that, where he would take a $20 bill and he would turn it into confetti, but it's like one of the streamers that wears the dollar bill streamers. So he'd go and he'd do that, and he'd say, "Oh crap, I'm sorry. Here, there's your
$20.
Sorry, I'm gonna go to the next table." And then he'd go back and he'd sneak it back to them at the end of the night. We'd say, "Oh, here's your bill," and then the people would say, "Oh, you keep it."
Right.
Same type of idea.
Yeah.
But it's kind of that joking thing, but
right. Yeah, many a truth is said in jest.
Right.
Okay, so that's kind of it on those topics. We are going to be doing a shorter show today.
Yeah. Actually, I was going to ask, what's your most common show?
Parlor.
Parlor. I mean, of those, the things we just discussed, do you have one that's kind of leans more to it? For you?
I would say that I am in the less lucrative end of the spectrum. Doing small business shows, nonprofit events, but Parlor Family, I do school shows, I do nonprofit events, I do community type events. So I mean, I don't get paid crappy. I mean, I'll get $500 to $600 to do these 45-minute shows, depending on the style, or maybe it's a 20 or 30-minute show if we're going to be outside, but I might do 2. But it tends to be family parlor is my my number one audience.
It sounds like the parlor is, you can get the most for parlor. But
well, yeah,
in the sense of like the most for the, I hate to put it in this fashion, but the most for the least amount of work.
Yeah, because if you're doing a stage show, I mean, look at when we do our stage show. It's like almost half a day to set that thing up.
Oh, well, there's that.
And so we're sitting there and we're busting our hump trying to get it all set up. And then it's like, okay, we perform in 10 minutes. And you're tired, you're sweaty.
So I suppose I should say it in this sense. It's the most that you can get the most for the least amount of performance.
The least amount of work.
Well, I suppose performance, because you just said that it's a whole crap load of work. Going and loading it all up and then going and putting everything together.
Right. But a parlor, I mean, you can get the most money for the least amount of work because you're going in, most parlor shows, 30 minutes, 45 minutes to set up. You go in with your case, you set it up, you do your show, you pack it up, and you're gone.
Now but I mean, in the same breath, you go and you do a walk around style show, or you do a close-up style show. I can carry a deck of cards in my pocket.
Okay.
And then I could go and say, here, I'm going to do my show, but I'm working longer. I'm going and I'm putting in
a couple hours,
1-2 hour show. And that's
because we do a 2 hour minimum normally when we book them.
I was going to say it's a minimum type of thing. And then I'm walking around with a deck of cards in my pocket.
Right.
And then you're going, it's like you could go and put all your crap in your pockets. The pocket space is very limiting for you.
Yes.
And you have to lug it all around and everything like that. It's the least amount of performance, but it can still be an extensive amount of work.
True.
So that's the most amount of money for the least amount of performance.
Right.
And then something like for usually my thing, the close-up stuff, it's more performance, but it's the least amount of stuff.
Right.
And usually fewer dollars attached to it.
Right. Not as big of an investment for the props. Okay. So we are going to take a look. This is a product that you
have an intro for this?
Yeah, I think I do.
This would be something that's a new one.
It's not really a new one.
It's newish.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the next one that we're going to do is older than this.
Okay.
Is it good? Should I buy it? Does it suck? Did I get ripped off? Is it more of a craft project than a magic trick? These questions and more answered now on the Magic Item of the Week here on Magic Talk.
So this one is kind of an oldie but goodie. I'm going to switch over here. This is called Shine. It's you ever see those light bulbs where you have to have metal on the ring or something to that effect? And there we go. Oh, turn it around. Turn it around.
Oh,
there we go. All right. So you had little metal on your finger, so when you grab the bulb and the way that you would end up holding it, the bulb would light up. Yeah. Whoa. Okay. So that was all right. So it looked like it was metal. I did. I held it. But the cool thing about this is that it is a self-lighting light. It's very bright. The other lights were not all that bright when you were doing it. If you remember, they were. Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go ahead. Let's see. All right. Turn that puppy on, and let's. And you can do things with it. Like if you get these. That was a little delayed.
Try again.
But if you get these are like super bright.
Those ones are those. What are those? The light 3.0 or something like
2.0 Pros or yeah. I mean, these things are blinding light. Ready? Hey, okay. So, and then you can grab it again and you can throw it back and you can grab it again and throw it back. We're getting our better time in there and grab it. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with this.
There is some limitation if you were operating it yourself. I mean, it'd be hard to operate it unless you were Uncle Festering it and putting it in your mouth. But
yeah.
It's
if I was going to do the delights with the it would be hard to operate. But it turns on your command. Which, by the way, those
or your stooges command, depending on who you're
right.
working with.
We don't use back to
there is a little bit of a delay too when operating it.
I don't remember it to being that bad, so it might just be a charge issue.
Or could be.
But
it was dead when we picked it up the first time.
Yeah. But this thing is incredibly bright. You could do things like where you bring it over a playing card and all of a sudden it lights up when you hit a playing card and it's like, oh, look at that, it stopped at your playing card. So there are a lot of things that you can do with it. It is very well made. The charging system for it is great. When we first got it, I thought that it had to sit in the charger in order to light up, and I thought, well, this is a really stupid design.
Oh yeah.
It would be so much cooler if it would just light as a bulb.
I think
that's all right.
I was going to show the charger. It's a whole big
it looks like it's
of stuff.
Looks like it's sitting in a lamppost.
Yeah, basically.
So, what's the price on this?
This one is $55.
$55. Very, very, to me, very well worth the money.
Mm-hmm.
And it
does hold a good charge too. It's not as when the charges diminish, if the quality or the connecting quality of it is a little bit less,
right?
But it does hold a good charge. I think we didn't charge that for
I think since we got it, yeah,
basically.
And
I think, let me check. I don't know.
It's a really good quality light bulb.
Yeah, it doesn't come off. That's it.
No,
this is as far as it goes.
Yeah, but it is a really good quality light bulb. I think it's very well worth the price. And there's a lot of things that you could do with it. One of the things that we're doing is we're combining it with the milk in bulb routine. So I'm gonna go to turn on the lamp won't turn on, and then I'll pull out a couple of bulbs and I'll screw one of the bulbs into the lamp, and then all of a sudden I'll go to push the button to light it up, and this will light up on the table.
Yeah,
and it'll be like, wait, what the heck? And so
there is a lot of working with a stooge. I mean, with anything that's kind of, I mean, as far as you're concerned, it's a lot of stooge work. And
I tend not to run my own controls.
Yeah.
I just, there are some times where I have to, like when I do the jumbo sidekick if I'm alone. Yeah. But I don't like it. And so
it's too off of out of control.
Yeah, I prefer to have my hands entirely free and not look like I'm having to go operate something. Some tricks obviously people know are mechanical, and I just would rather not be doing anything and letting somebody from the audience take care of it.
Yeah.
And most of the time I'm able to do that, but there are occasions where I am forced to have to do it on my own. Okay. So let's go ahead to...
And now it's time for Out of the Hat. Here on Magic Talk with James Lantine.
Get rid of that.
Yes.
Okay.
Was it obvious?
Yeah. So this Out of the Hat is something that we've had for a little while now. This is called Supreme
Nest of Wallets.
Nest of Wallets. Now, we had another one that was like this, that was an incredibly soft leather.
It's the same thing.
Same thing, but the leather is different.
That one was V1. V1 is no longer available anymore.
Right. But the leather was really soft.
Yeah, it was a lambskin. This is an alligator skin.
Okay.
Type of leather. I get that it's not actually alligator skin. It's just a press. So for anybody,
but it is real leather.
Yes, it's real leather.
Okay.
I think that one is it's calf hide, but it's the way that it got pressed. It's pressed with the texture.
They call it alligator skin.
Yeah, it's the texture.
Yeah. I mean, they're still a very soft leather, very pliable and everything.
Oh yeah.
But the concept with this is that you pull out a wallet, and then inside there is another wallet, and then inside there is a third wallet, and then wrapped inside the third wallet is this handkerchief. Mm. And the item, the ring or whatever it might be, it could be a signed coin, it could be a ring, whatever it is, ends up being wrapped into the handkerchief. Very nicely made.
I think that one they primarily use it for rings. They've shown. Oh, that went away.
Oh,
but they show certain things with bills or coins that have been marked in some sort of fashion. But I've noticed it's far more personable for people to do the trick where it's got their own type of wedding ring or something like that attached to it. When they the instructional video on this, they go and they say you can use anything. They try to make that one a talking point.
Yeah, you can use anything so long as it fits in the wallet.
Yeah, basically.
I would venture to say you're not putting an elephant in here.
No.
So,
or an alligator. It might get upset because it's looking at this leather and it's thinking, "Oh my God, that was my uncle."
And what is the price point on this?
This one is $65.
$65. It is nicely made.
Yeah,
it will last you for a while. I do like the leather. I love the soft ones. I'm sad that those are gone, but I'm glad that they still came out with the nested wallets because the soft ones were out of stock for a while. Before these came into play.
Yeah.
And so
I think we've had a customer actually go and tell that they've used this since they got it from us. And that was at least 2 years ago.
Oh, really?
And they use it a lot. You look at it and it looks like
it's been used.
An old beat up wallet that they've been keeping around in his pocket.
Cool. All right. Last up.
There is an outbreak among
My belly's
us.
sticking out.
It is limited to only a small portion of our population. They have a sickness. They have an addiction. They collect bicycle playing cards, which is bad for them, but great for us because we have almost 500 decks of playing cards to choose from. They'll go crazy in here. They'll spend every last penny they... This is their story. This is Playing Cards Anonymous here on Magic Talk.
So I want to keep it to the Halloween theme since we're in the month of October.
Well, I am kind of excited about, well, not so much these, more of the Count Chocula.
Yes, I think we did talk about Count Chocula the other day. This one is the next in series, which is, oh gosh, what do you call her? Carmela Creeper. And it's all based off of the cereal line. And there are about 8 different creatures in the cereal line. You remember Boo Berry, right?
Boo Berry, Frankenberry, and Count Chocula. When I was growing up, there were 3.
Yeah, now they've expanded the family.
Okay.
So now they've got Carmela Creeper, which is the green one. It's all sugar cereal, so they all taste about the same. But this one's green, which is nice. And this one, I think the Count Chocula are the same in the fact that they have a cardistry stock. So the cards themselves are a little thicker, but oddly enough, these ones feel better. At least this deck in particular. I was able to make a much more even spring with this guy. And let's see if I can do it from this distance. Yeah, much more even spring with this one. I actually was able to do face pharaohs with this one.
And do the cards
like this one? Actually, it doesn't split or damage when I'm doing this either.
We're going to focus on that one.
You see now?
There we go. Let me kill that.
Okay, the autofocus.
Yeah,
I'm not moving anymore. But this one right here, you can see it doesn't even split the cards, or you don't hear any crinkling with the cards when you do that. And let's see if I can do it now. But I was even practicing this where I have oops. Now that I'm put under pressure, I can't do it. But the one-handed shuffle.
Oh, you've been working on that.
Oh yeah.
Not quite there, but
I can get a little bit of it. It's hard in this position too. I have to do it closer to my body. But even still, it does it best because it's doing the face pharaoh. And I can keep the cards face down while I'm doing it.
And these are the weird, like, ghost and
yes. Now
suits.
They have a key card to go and tell you which one is which. So you got the skulls, that's the spade, the ghosts are the hearts, the bats are the clubs, and the Frankensteins are the diamonds.
So I'm noticing
Frankenstein is probably diamond because it's the most expensive monster. This one, the bats, they're the most underplayed monster, so it's got to be the clubs. Everyone loves a skull, even the goths, so they have to do the spade. And then the ghosts, love is so fleeting and you can almost see right through it. So there's the hearts.
Okay. I'm noticing that
answer.
their faces are the same on all the cereals. So they're using Count Chocula and everything like that. So
yeah,
only thing that they're changing is the back style on the cereals.
Yeah, I could imagine it would be for that because it's not like you've got this whole ornate family of cards and such. It's kind of for the cereal.
Yeah.
And at least somebody in, I think this one is it's a Chinese company that's doing the cardistry cards. I'm sure they like the cereal, so they're kind of like, oh, let's make one for the cereal, but they're not putting a whole crap load of effort into it, so to speak.
Yeah. Okay, how much?
This one, these are $20.
$20.
Yes.
And did we talk about what the price for the nested wallets was?
The price, yes, that was $65.
Yeah, okay, that's right. All right, so we are going to call it. I am going to be gone for the next 4 days. I'm going to be visiting magician Bob Bolivar up in Utah. Yep. Any of you are familiar with Bob? He is an amazing coin magician. Getting up there in age, though, so
he's a pretty good magician just in general, because I see him with cards as well.
Yeah. I mean, he's an all-around magician, definitely. But phenomenal with coins.
He told me, "Why do you do the cards when you like the coins so much?" He said, "I got to do what pays the money, because cards, people don't pay money for you to go and play with money."
That's true.
They pay money to watch you play with paper. Okay. Apparently.
But we're gonna go see him and hopefully record some of his sleight of hand moves so that we can keep it
alive.
Keep it alive beyond him.
So you're gonna go and film his legacy.
Yes.
All right, get good footage.
I'll do my best.
And get good angles.
All right, with that,
I'm kind of jealous you get to go and visit Bob.
Yeah.
My son loves Grandpa Bob, by the way.
Okay.
And Grandma Judy.
Nice.
Well, you've seen
Can I end the show now?
No. I mean, if you have to,
I gotta go. All right, remember White Rabbit Magic.
We believe in magic.
This has been a Rough Edge Studios production.